You are a being of abundant love, health, and wealth. You are a manifestation of the divine. In a world where we are stripped of our authenticity, I am here to walk you home by reminding you of your ultimate power. I am KaSandra, the creator and artist of Magic of Eden. Welcome to my podcast, Magic of Eden, the journey to your highest version. On my podcast, I'll be featuring and performing my poetry. I'll discuss traumatic and heartwarming experiences and how we can use magic to help us reclaim our divinity and evolve along our spiritual journeys. I'll also pull tarot and oracle cards during some discussions and leave you with words of encouragement as you reclaim the God and Goddess within you. I hope that through my passion and vulnerability that I am able to create a safe haven for you to thrive and transform. Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for coming back to the Magic of Eden podcast, the journey to your highest version. I am so excited to be sharing and holding space with you all again today. It is always good to be in good love, in good light, in good health, and good energy, and a good spirit with you all. So today's podcast really is just going to be a continuation of the download or message that I received on Tuesday. Now, I wanted to record this podcast yesterday, however, it just was not the time. But today, we got the time and we're going to talk about it. So, I'm going to jump right into this. The message that came through, or some of the messages that came through, I actually posted it on my Instagram. For those of you that are not following me, my Instagram is at Magic of Eden. And the message that came through really was just kind of going into detail about, the fact that a lot of us are under a lot of pressure. A lot of us have been experiencing a lot of anxiety. But the reason that we've been experiencing so much anxiety is because if you look at the world around us, the world is going through a major breakdown, with all these rules, regulations, and things of that nature, and with all these businesses being shut down, and, with us having to go into this so-called new normal, which actually it is a new normal, which, we're being, led to. It just feels like we're under this constant heat. We're under this constant pressure. And not only is this happening outside in the world, but this is also happening on the microscopic level of our own lives. And we are seeing this, every day, with our personal growth and our own personal transformation. And it's been hell, it's been one hell of a ride. Now, something else that has been coming through lately is the fact that a lot of people have been returning to spirit after, feeling so, straight away for so long. It feels like it's been forever since they returned to themselves, and whenever I say divine or whenever I say source or God, always understand that I am talking about the all-knowingness within you. The source that resides, that you are cut from, that is within you. I always say that. I do not believe in anything outside of any of us. I believe that as a collective, as energy, we are all dancing for ourselves, for each other, so that we can get to know ourselves and return back home. So I will never speak to this as an external being outside of you. Please understand that. If that is not your vibe, please understand that this podcast is not for you. But anyways, that's neither here nor there. Again, yeah, it just seems like a lot of people have been straight away from their path because of everything that has been going on. A lot of people have been sidetracked with our everyday dealings, with our mundane dealings, and it just seems like we're ready to return back to this place of wholeness, to the place of spirit. And in that notion, in that spirit, one of the things that came through, another thing that came through was that a lot of people have been feeling like they've been alone or they've been abandoned because of all of the chaos and everything that has been going on in the world, but also, like I said, in our personal lives. A lot of us have been going through our own spiritual awakenings. We've been going through these major transformations. And in those processes, we have been not losing people, because I don't believe you lose people, but I believe that you evolve past the need to be around these people. I'm going to say that again. We have been evolving past the need to be around these people. And so we are elevating our consciousness, our energy, our vibes are becoming more elevated. And in that spirit, we also have to have the field outside of us match that vibration. And as a result, we have been, being led to new crowds of people, new jobs, new businesses, new houses, new everything. This could be something as small as, you changing your wardrobe. A lot of people have been called to higher aspects because they're returning back to God. They're returning back to the divine. They're returning back to themselves. And I feel like, the divine is telling us that, yeah, like it's time. With everything that has been going on, with all these, major transformations that have been going on every 100 years or so, look at what's happening with humanity. Like, you guys are headed in such a good direction right now, and I want you all to enjoy that. But before that, you have to be able to let go of what was. And as I say that, Bag Ladies coming through by Erykah Badu. Now, y'all know me. Y'all know I love me some Erykah Badu. That is my girl. I love her music. It is so amazing. But anyways, yeah, like, we are being challenged. We are being called to let go of these things. But not only that, we're being called to let go of guilt, to let go of shame, to let go of anything that does not serve us. All of these low vibrational feelings that we have been feeling. It's time for us to let that go, because as elevated beings, we don't have time for that, right? We don't have the energy. We don't have the space or the time to feel those things because we felt them already. They were a part of our experience at one point, but they don't need to be a part of our experience from where we're going. So what I feel is the divine is telling us now, that you felt all of those things. It's time for you to be more gentle with yourself and really just sit with yourself and know that you are okay in this moment, right? We're not too worried about the future. We shouldn't be so worried about the future, because no matter what, the future is going to happen. The future has already happened, right? You are the present. You is the future and the past meeting up right now in this very moment. The future you is looking at you through a memory, and the past you is looking at you hoping to be where you are right now. So all you have to do is show up, right? Show up in the moment. And that's another thing that came through the other day, was us being able to show up in our own skin, in our own authenticity. Show up and be who it is that we are meant to be. Because right now what the world needs its leaders. Because as we shift and progress into this new paradigm, who's going to lead? Right? We can't have look what's happening to the leaders that we have now, right? They're showing their puppet faces and, everything, they're breaking down, they're showing their colors, people are waking up. And it's like, no, like, we need to reclaim the world that belonged to us anyway. And that's what we're doing. But how can we reclaim something if we're not showing up, in our powerful essence? How can we, right? We're going to talk about it. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and continue with this. So, another thing I wanted to point out, and I'm going to point out a lot of things tonight, right? Another thing that I wanted to point out is that a lot of us, and I've got my cards pulled right in front of me right now, I feel like a lot of us have been holding on to so many things, and it is through this fear that we have, fear of whatever, fear of the unknown, fear of letting go, fear of success, the fear of failure, the fear of being alone. All these different fears that we have been restricting us and holding us by the tail, and keeping us dormant and grounded and anchored in this old life. And we're not able to progress or move forward because we've got so many things weighing us down. But Spirit is saying, look, during this Scorpio season, during this time, and no matter what time it is, because what is time anyway, no matter what I want you to do is I want you to sit with yourself, and I really want you to sit in the shadows. See, so many people are rushing towards love and light, but listen, honey, you got to go within the shadows first, because how can you know what this is without its polarity, without its dual aspect, right? So I feel like the divine is saying, look, I need you to sit here, because there's so many things that are being overlooked in this aspect first. You have to sit within the void. And in that void space, what you'll understand is that the void is the womb space of all creation. Without the void, none of this would exist, because this is the void anyway. It's the womb space that holds all of creation. It is creation. It is the everything. It is the nothing. It is the everything birthed from nothing. It is the ethereal. It is the tangible, the intangible. It is everything. And when you sit in the void space, you understand that you are sitting within yourself. You are holding space with yourself and understanding and looking at all of these different things. Each of the fractals that, in this void space is a representation of anything that you've ever gone through, everything that you will go through, anything that you've ever felt. It is everything, right? So when you are sitting in this void space, you are sitting in a womb space, you are being cocooned in love, cocooned in everything that makes you you, and you are being cocooned in everything that will be, right? So there really is no need to worry. What I'm hearing Spirit say right now in this moment is that there is no need for you to worry. The root cause for a lot of anxiety is our inability to understand that we are clinging to the illusion of control. We don't need to be trying to control everything, right? So the only thing that we can control is what is within us. And I know that that sounds so cliche, but I don't really think that a lot of people truly understand, the power, you know, the magnificence of that saying. We can only control what is within us to begin with. So what I feel like, is that when we start to control what is within us, that peace that is within us, we can then birth that and project that outside of us and allow our sacred space outside of us to match that. And when we then come to terms with that, we can then say, you know what? I release all that holds me back. I release the self sabotage. I release the fear of whatever it may be, right? And one of the things that I feel like is that when we start to say, you know what, I need to cleanse this house, the divine is saying, look, it is now your time to do this. I need you to show up to be who you are because the world needs you. And as I say that, it's so funny because I'm looking right at the Three of Pentacles sitting out here. And I also see the Knight of Cups, and I also have the Sun card here. I also have the Page of Wands twice. I have the Eight of Swords. I also have the Poet sitting here, the Page of Cups. Like, to me, this energy is us starting to tap more into creation. Remember when we talked about the void, right? The void is all of creation. So you are tapping within yourself and saying, look, it is time for me to show up in this world to be who I'm going to be because I am presenting this love, this beauty, this gift to the world because this is what I'm here for. Anyone who is on planet Earth right now came here to be seen. I don't give a damn what anyone says. Okay? I mean, it's my belief, but I mean, when you really think about it, I mean, that's what we're here for. We didn't come here to hide. And if that was a part of your experience, well, guess what? We are entering into the unknown so that we can then see what it is that we are capable of, right? We are discovering the source of our power and we are showing up. I feel like the people who are meant to be around you will be around you. Your soul tribe is calling. Your soul tribe is calling you. It's so funny because those are the words that I'm hearing right now. Your soul tribe is calling you. They are waiting for you to show up. And why are you keeping them waiting? But even then, you have to be ready to show up for yourself because to show up for your tribe is to show up for you. But you have to show up for you first. The thing is with the Knight of Cups and with this Page of Cups is that this is fresh energy to me. This is fresh energy. This is exciting energy. This is love. This is art. This is so many things that you have to share that you are giving as gifts to the world. See, these are gifts that you're giving. And the gifts that you're giving to the world are eventually going to work for you, but not even just for you, but for the collective. And I feel like with this Page of Wands coming out, it's like the divine is saying, look, I need you to sharpen up. I need you to get ready. It's time for you to get ready. What is it that you see? What are the visions that you're getting right now? I need you to start dwelling on that and sitting on that and becoming more grounded and rooted in that. And as I say that, it's time for us to start to activate those lower chakras so that we can then ascend to the higher chakras. See, we should already be at the higher chakras, but it's all right because, see, we can tap in and out of those, right? But yeah, but seriously, like where we're headed right now is we are headed to a place where it is okay for us to be more gentle. We are headed to a place where it is okay for us to be quirky, not awkward, but it's okay for us to be weird, to be different, to be odd. It is okay because, see, to be odd is to be normal. Well, what is normal? To be odd is to be authentic. If you are not, if you're the oddball, be the oddball. But that's neither here nor there. What Spirit is saying, honestly, is that it is time for you to show up. It is time for you to be in your skin. It is time for you to practice more of your self love. For some reason, I'm hearing the word flowers. So I feel like buy yourself some beautiful flowers if you want. If you have an altar, dress your altar with, whatever kind of flowers you like, you know, or I'm hearing the word daisies. Somebody likes daisies. Look up the occult meaning for daisies or look up the symbolism of daisies. That's for you. I don't too much care about daisies, but that's okay. Anyways, and some of the other cards that I have here, we have the North. We have North expansion. We have the soul passion. See, your soul right now is bursting. It's on fire because see, it knows that it's about to be a major breakthrough, not just for the world, but a breakthrough in your own life right now. And see, when you have this breakthrough, it's like a big explosion in the universe goes off, right? And that is just you, right? Now imagine if all of our souls had that. There would be this whole universe would be just, it would just be so amazing. I mean, it is amazing, but what I'm saying is that just imagine all of our souls going off. At that point, we all evolve and return home, and that is where we are headed. The thing about this card where it says expansion north is that in order for you to expand, you have to be willing to allow yourself not to be restricted. You have to be able to open up to deflower yourself. That could be the reason why I heard the word flower. It's because what happens when you're expanding, just as a flower is towards the sun, or the sun is, kissing this flower, the flower then opens up to receive the sun's light, to receive the sun's nourishment. Do you see what I'm saying? So that it can continue with the process of life. It's not going to sit there, lying dormant, in that little bud, unless it's being manipulated, right? But seriously, like it opens up and deflowers itself to receive the nourishment. And I believe what the divine wants us to do is to be that flower. Open ourselves up. There's nothing to be afraid of. Open up. Go out. Do what it is that you need to do. Be who you need to be so that you can learn that it is okay to thrive in your new life. Right? You are not escaping your old life, but you are freeing yourself from that old life. Because see, when you escape something, there's always a chance of getting caught again, right? We're not getting caught again. What we are doing is we are allowing ourselves to leave. We are giving ourselves permission to expand, to leave for the greater good, but not even just for that, but for ourselves, because see, we are the greater good, right? And I don't mean that in a selfish way, but I mean that in a selfish way. If you know, you know. But then with the soul, with the passion, what is it that you've been wanting to do? What I'm hearing is that even if you're not making a commitment to it right now, when you leave, understand this. Come back to it. If it excites you the same way it did when you thought about it the first time, that might be a green light, right? So understand that in order for you to sit in this newness, in order for you to appreciate this newness, you first have to recognize where you've been so that you can allow yourself to go where you're going. With this passion, the soul, with this eye, and it's such a beautiful card. Oh my goodness. Um, I'll leave a link down in the description for the cards that I'm using whenever I have the time. But yes, with this passion card, with this eyes, it's like the soul sees, the soul knows. The soul knows everything. Your soul is the divine, right? Your soul is God. That's what it is, right? Your soul is the source. So your source knows that it's collecting all of this information from its external world, but it already has everything it needs within it, right? It is made up of everything that it needs. However, it's coming back to remember. So anyway, with this passion, with the soul, what I'm understanding and what I'm feeling coming from this is that you are literally going into a space where you're able to thrive. Now I know that I'm repeating myself, but I feel like it just needs to be said repeatedly. And so we get the picture. And then on top of that, here we have cleaning house, releasing emotional baggage. A lot of people have been under storms, under fire, under so many emotional, they have so many emotional attachments. They've been hit with this, they've been hit with that from this person, and it's just too much. It's too much. It's time for you to say, you know what? I can no longer hold space for you because of this. I can no longer hold space for you because of that. I cannot be of support in this way because I am dimming my own light. I am not doing what I'm supposed to do for me. And I am giving myself permission to let you go. I am giving myself permission to let that go. I am no longer allowing myself to hold on to this habit because, see, this habit is the reason why I'm stuck here restricted, right? Sometimes we restrict ourselves for safety. We restrict ourselves for survival. And the divine is like, look, I don't want you to be living a life of survival. And I heard the words restart the nervous system. Like, we need a detox. Like, we have to start detoxing the things that have got us shaken up. It's like it's programmed within us to be so nervous and anxious all the time. You know, it's getting to a point where the divine is saying, look, stop saying you that you have anxiety and say that you're anxious. Start to reword the things that you're saying so that you can rewire the subconscious and the unconscious so that you can start living a better conscious life. I hope that makes sense. The magical shapeshifter, gentle gardener. It's like you knowing you have everything you need. You have all the keys that you need to be successful, to live a loving life. You have it all. You just have to be gentle with yourself and not put so many expectations on yourself and others, right? Because I feel like expectations, we have these, I really do feel like we have expectations. And it's good to have those, it's like, I expect this, I expect that. But at the same time, you really can't expect anything from anyone. Because if that's the case, with humans, we fall short somehow. And even if you feel like you're a person who has it all together, baby, listen, we are all having a human experience. We are going to fall short sometimes. I've fallen short. You have fallen short. Trust me. We all have fallen short. But the thing is that when we are releasing the expectations of something, we are letting go of the notion that we are expecting them to be exactly this. You cannot envision it as just that, because see, the thing about expansion is that you have to let it be what it is, because when you let something or someone be what they are, you are giving them a chance to grow. You are giving yourself a chance to grow and expand. That is the reason why we are allowing ourselves to open up. That is the reason. That is the reason. And we've got the sun twice. So I feel like this is newness, this is joy, this is love, this is laughter, this is passion, right? This is jovialness. Like, this is all of those things. But also, what I'm hearing is to put all of those positive, high vibrational emotions in your art, because when you do that, people will feel that, will see that, but will feel it. I don't know if you're a musician or if you're or whatever kind of artist you are, present that, show up with that, put everything that you feel into those pictures, into that poetry, into those words, or put it all, set your intention, and then project that intention out into the universe. Work your magic. Work your magic. And understand that the unknown is the place to be, because the unknown has all of these different potentials, all of these different, paths, right? They have all of these different things. The unknown is the void. It is everything known and everything unknown, right? And I'm hearing you will be carried. Allow yourself to be carried into this life of wholeness, into this life of love, into this life of laughter. Allow yourself to be carried into that. And for some, emphasis on the word art. Some of y'all are going to start making money creating. Now, I just started this podcast, and it took me a minute to start. But you know what? The divine kept telling me to show up. So I'm showing up regardless. You see what I'm saying? But anyway, I don't believe I have any more messages to come through right now. I think the divine has said it all. Actually, I take that back. I feel like some people have to be reminded, excuse me, but I gotta continue. Some people have to be reminded that, they have a heart of gold, that they have a heart of passion. And I really do believe that now is the time to be gentle with ourselves again, so that we can sculpt ourselves into a mold that mirrors the divine's purest form. I truly believe that it is time for us to start tapping into that energy. And it's so beautiful because in the post that I put, I remember putting something along the lines of, a potter takes their time, and breathes and molds the clay into a beautiful masterpiece, right? It's not gonna, the potter's not gonna judge or worry about the outcome of that creation, but rather it's gonna live and breathe in that moment, right? And what reveals itself, it will be just as it is. It's not worried about it necessarily the outcome, But what it's doing is it's being very gentle with that. It's being firm in some places, right? It supports some places, and other places it allows it to be free. It allows it to flow. Because that's how you allow yourself to mold and to create these beautiful things, by not putting so much pressure on it. One of the only things I know of, and correct me if I'm wrong, but one of the only things that I know of that comes out extremely beautiful, after pressure, is a diamond. But baby, you a diamond too. So let's just say that. But anyways, I just wanted to remind you of that. You have all the tools, all the power, all the resources within you. And remember, I don't know who needs to hear this, but if you're asking the divine for help, sometimes that help comes in the form of a person. Let them in. Somebody needed to hear that. And I know I'm like getting really close to the mic, but I really want you to know how serious I am. Allow that person to help you. Allow that person to enter your space if you trust them. And ask yourself, do I not trust them because I'm afraid? Or am I not trusting them because of my intuition? Do I trust them because of my intuition? Or do I trust them because of the feelings I have for them? Remember, do not allow yourself to be guided by your emotions, but rather guide your emotions, guide your intuition with your higher mind, right? And because we are spiritual here, we understand things from the intuitive perspective. Allow your intuition to guide you. Your intuition will never fail you, okay? I love you guys. Thank you so much for holding space with me today. And I will hear from you in my next podcast. Thank you, Tribe, for tuning in to this podcast episode. I have enjoyed our time here. In case you need to reach me, you can visit my Instagram at Magic of Eden. There you can find short posts of inspiring messages, witchy tips, and much more. You can also visit my online apothecary to purchase herbs, ritual oils, candles, and book readings. I am excited to hear from you.